Louisa's efforts are like jokes to a rock. Desperate, she turns to her sister again about these ridiculous mid-game decisions. Her sister gently tells her to pull herself together, and Louisa's inner flame of hope bursts into flame once again, akin to lighting up her dazzling Christmas tree. She rushes to the library, searches for disabled activities like a detective, and compiles a bucket list. Will's parents, upon seeing it, immediately express their strong support. Mom wishes to accompany him, yet Dad crushes that wonderful plan, believing that Will requires a bit more independence. Soon, Louisa and her caregiver bring Will to the racetrack, but they face trouble. His wheelchair tires are swallowed by mud. Together, they can't move the wheelchair. Louisa yells for help. Passers-by rescue her, making Will regret the trip, because he looks like a useless duck stuck in mud. Despite his inner discontent, Will still follows Louisa to the arena, using his exceptional intuition. Louisa spots a pink pony called Chicken on the wind right away, and Will, stone-faced, tells her that horse has no chance. At the start, horses gallop, but the pink pony saunters. Louisa quietly rips up the tickets, and they head to a restaurant afterward. The waiter tosses their tickets, refuses service. Louisa, not wanting her first outing to end thus, adopts a determined attitude. She humbly pleads for food, but sharp glances from all sting Will's heart like arrows. "Let's go," she says. Their dreamy plan deepens Will's gloom, but Louisa doesn't give up. She pulls out tickets to a Mozart concert and invites Will. Unfortunately, her tickets just sold out, and Will's face makes it seem like he's witnessing a blockbuster event. The next day, Will slips into a dapper suit. Meanwhile, Louisa dons a shiny red gown and pastel pink scarf, swapping her usual bold colours, resembling a blazing bull princess. When she turns, Will's heart fills with balloons ready to soar. Untying her scarf, his lips curl into a smile. But then Will suddenly feels uncomfortable around his neck. Louisa discovers it's just the tag left on, realizing the issue is that a concert is nothing new for Will, but he can't help but keep his eyes glued to Louisa. For Louisa, first hearing classical music, tears sparkle as if touching its soul. Afterwards, they drive back to the castle. Louisa wants to drop Will off at home, but Will feels reluctant, saying, "I just want to be the cool guy next to her, not go home." At that moment, time seems to stretch, playing a grand and lingering melody, and Will's shattered soul seems to receive a glimmer of comfort. On Louisa's birthday, he even gathers the courage to visit Louisa's family. Faced with unfamiliar faces, Will chats like he's at a family reunion. But when Dad brings up work, Will learns he's the reason for Dad's unemployment. Talk about an icebreaker. But what surprises Louisa more is that Will prepared a limited edition bumblebee legging, undoubtedly a top-notch special gift. She can't wait to try it on, and while leaving, she shouts to Will, "I can't tell you how much I love this. Thank you so much." Louisa continues planning future adventures, but suddenly Will receives an invitation to his ex-girlfriend's wedding. What a pesky little situation. Where should we go? As he gazes at the view from the castle walls, Will recalls the moment he first kissed his ex, while Louisa marvels at the scenery, claiming this is Will quips, "Oh, that's just because you haven't been anywhere else." Louisa shoots back at her. "Like Argentina with sashimi, of course." "Then let's go. We can head off to planet Europe right now." Louis is excited, internally chanting, "Let's get moving." "Well, you said it. Who said you don't understand Clark?" She wants to show up in her former glory, and not endure the cold stares of people or deal with taxi drivers blocking the way. Even her wheelchair is out of juice. Hey, Alicia's wedding even invites Louisa. How hilarious is that? But when Louisa returns home, she finds her family busy celebrating. Dad has found a job as the castle maintenance supervisor. Louisa realizes this is all a clever setup by Will. Now that's what I call a money-making idea. That day, Will meets with a well-suited guest, and Louisa stalks the name online to discover he's a medical expert. Thinking Will's cheered up and changed his mind, Louisa is surprised he hasn't given up. On the wedding day, tears glisten in Will's eyes as he watches his former love walk hand in hand with another man into a new chapter of life. It's just heart-wrenching. At the banquet, Louisa invites Will to dance, but before she can make any gesture in response, she is already gracefully perched on Will's lap, as they smoothly glide into the center of the dance floor with the flow of romantic rhythms. They return to the hotel for a unique romantic night, but next day Louisa realizes Will's hospitalized due to alcohol. Louisa tries to cheer Will up with some jokes, but he can barely breathe. Luckily, prompt treatment saved his life. The doctor reveals Will's ongoing tragedy. At night, Will weeps, reminiscing about skiing, climbing as a whole-bodied superhero. But upon waking, he realizes that all that remains is a numb body, a situation that leaves Louisa utterly unable to accept such a mundane death. So she crafts a super special trip for Will, aiming to bring joy to his body. Of course, she asks the doctor to tag along. Days later, they head to Hawaii, basking in sun, sharing joys till nightfall. Suddenly, a storm rolls in, and Louisa tidies up his bedding to leave, but Will cheekily begs her to stay. What a little turtle. They snuggle up, enjoying the romance of the thunderstorm, and inevitably kiss each other. Will encourages Louisa to try her hand out. Even though Louisa can't swim, she summons her courage and dives right in, teasing, "Why do you make me do this?" It's exhilarating. Will has experience. He wants to show Louisa the broader world as stars twinkle. Louisa dances gracefully on the soft sand for Will, and as romantic sparks fly, she hops back into her wheelchair. She kisses him deeply. In that moment, Louisa believes Will has changed his mind, but Will is resolute.